Are you thinking about getting your real estate license in the state of Montana, but you just don't know where to start? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through a complete step-by-step guide so you know all the steps to getting your real estate license in Montana. My name is Chris. I've been a licensed real estate agent for the past 10 years. I'm also a team leader, real estate coach, and I've been able to help hundreds of people get started and get their real estate license. Before we dive into the video, I do want to let you know about our real estate license starter kit. It's a complete guide I put together with everything in this video, plus a lot more, all about getting your license, and it's completely free. Also, down in the description below, you're gonna find a link to my favorite real estate school. And the reason I like this school so much is they have a pass or don't pay guarantee. And what that means is they stand behind their work and they believe they could really help you pass the exam. So if you want to check them out in their classes, there is an affiliate link down below where you'll be able to access different sales and discounts on their classes. So step number one to getting your real estate license in Montana is meeting some of the basic requirements. The very first one is you must be 18 years old or older, and you must have a high school diploma or its equivalent. Another thing to note is you must be able to complete a background check. So in Montana, before you get licensed, you're going to have to do a background check and fingerprinting. So make sure there's nothing on your record that may hold you back from getting your license. Step number two is completing your state-approved pre-licensed education. In the state of Montana, you have to complete 70 hours of state-approved pre-licensed education classes. And yes, I know 70 hours sounds like a ton of time. And it truly is, especially if you have other things going on, like a 9-to-5 job, or you just have a busy schedule. So I highly suggest you check these classes out online, but you can do them also in person if you want. But online is a lot more convenient and it saves you a lot of that drive time and back and forth to the actual real estate school. And you get all the pros of having an instructor and the support that you actually need. So I highly suggest you do classes online if you want something a lot more convenient to get through these 70 hours of classes. Inside of these classes, you're going to learn a lot of cool things. You're going to learn real estate math, real estate law, real estate ethics, real estate finance. And this is all stuff that you're going to use in the field as a real estate agent when you get your real estate license. You're also going to need it when you go through the exam portion and try to pass your real estate exam. And that takes us to step number three, which is scheduling and passing your real estate exam. In the state of Montana, the exams are scheduled through Pearson VUE, and you can schedule this exam right online. Now, when you get into the testing center, you're probably wondering what to bring. Well, you want to bring two major things. You want to bring two forms of identification. This can be a passport, a driver's license, a debit card, a credit card. And you also want to bring a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam. Once you actually get into the testing center, you're going to be met with a bunch of multiple choice questions. And that's the good news. The exam itself is all multiple choice, but I want to give you a fair warning. Please make sure to read each question multiple times before you finally submit your answer, because some of these questions are set up in a tricky way, and you sometimes can answer questions wrong that you really know the right answer to because you're rushing through the exam. You have plenty of time to complete it. In fact, you have a couple hours to get this done. So don't rush through the exam and make sure you read each question multiple times before you finally submit your answer. Now, once you're done with your exam, you're going to know right away if you passed or failed. So you don't have to wait and have a bunch of anxiety. Now, in order to pass the exam, you have to get a 70% score or higher. If you didn't pass the exam, don't stress out too much. It's not a big deal. And at the end of the day, you can just come back and retake the exam. It doesn't mean you're going to be a bad real estate agent, and it doesn't mean that you're going to fail out of real estate. In fact, I know many top producers that failed the exam multiple times before they ever became agents and became successful. So all it means is you have to try a little bit harder, study harder, and then come back and give it another try. Now, the exam itself is broken into two separate parts. You have a state portion of the exam and a national portion of the exam. If you fail one section and pass the other, you only have to come back and retake the part that you failed. Now, if you pass the real estate exam, it's time to celebrate and move on to the next step. And that takes us to number four, which is scheduling and completing your fingerprinting and your background check. Once that's done, it's time to move forward and actually complete your application. And this is submitted through the Montana Board of Realty Regulation. And what you're going to want to do is you want to package everything you've done so far up into a bundle and send it out with your application. So we want to take everything you've done so far and we want to put it together and send it out with your real estate license application. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our proof that we completed our state-approved pre-licensed education classes. We want to get our completed real estate exam showing that we have a score of 70% or higher. And we also want to get our fingerprinting and background check, and you want to put that together and send it out with our license application. And then we're going to move on to step number 6, and that is choosing your sponsoring broker. Now, this is one of the most fun parts of the process, and it's really exciting. But I want you to be careful, because if you pick the wrong brokerage and the wrong mentor, you could set yourself back a long ways and you might even fail. So I want to give you some tips now on what to do when picking your first sponsoring broker and some questions to ask. The very first question to ask is, what kind of mentorship or training do you have for brand new agents at your brokerage? Am I going to get one-on-one access to a mentor? Someone that's going to answer my phone calls and help me out through deals? Or do I just have some classes that I can show up to here and there? And if you do have classes, are they catered directly to new agents, or are they just more general classes for anybody in real estate? These are questions that you want to ask, because as a new agent, you definitely need a lot of support to get your business off the ground. The next question to ask is, what kind of marketing and business support are you going to give me? The truth is, most real estate agents fail because they don't know how to get clients and close deals consistently. And a lot of this comes down to marketing. So you want to ask the question up front on how this brokerage is going to help you generate business, leads, and new clients. Because if they can't do that, or they can't mentor you to do that, then you're going to be in for a really bad experience. Another question to ask is, do they offer any real estate leads? Or are there any teams in their office that might offer leads so you can get a good jump start and get the support you need when first starting out and growing your new business? And the last question I want you to ask is about the commission splits and the monthly fees associated with being a part of their brokerage. Now, the commission splits are one thing, right? But the monthly fees are something that you really should focus on, because as a brand new agent, you might not have deals coming in on a regular basis, and you might need that cash flow. So if you're getting charged a monthly fee every month to be a part of that brokerage, it can get painful pretty quick. So some brokerages have $0 monthly fees, and others can charge all the way up to hundreds of dollars per month. So you want to make sure you ask this question ahead of time. The secondary question to ask is, what about your commission splits? Now, I would focus on this a little bit less, but you still want to know what your commission split's going to be at the end of the day when you start closing deals. So have this conversation ahead of time, but I highly urge you to go with a brokerage that's going to give you the support and training that you need over just high commission splits, because high commission splits are not going to make you successful. The support and training that you get will make you successful, because 100% of nothing is still nothing. Okay, so now that you have all the steps to get licensed, I want to answer some of the top questions that I get, because I'm sure you have some questions that you're thinking about right now. The first question is, how much does it actually cost to get your real estate license in the state of Montana? Well, on average, I would budget between $800 and $1,000 to get your license, depending on what real estate exam prep tools you decide to purchase, the pre-licensed education you decide to go with, and if there's any sales and discounts you're able to get, and also what brokerage you choose, and if there's any fees associated with signing up with that brokerage. These are all things to consider, but I would budget anywhere between $800 and $1,000, which is really low considering the upside of this career. The second most common question I get is, how long does it take to get licensed? Well, since in Montana you have to complete 70 hours of state-approved classes, I would estimate anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks to get this done. Now, some people take longer and some people fly through it a lot quicker. It's totally up to you, especially if you go with one of these self-paced class options. The next question I get is the test actually hard? Do people fail the exam a lot? And the truth is, yes, they absolutely do. The exam can be challenging, but you don't have to fail. There are so many people that pass the first try. So I highly suggest you look at things like exam prep tools that can put you through these tests like simulations, because I tried to study with the textbook and I found it incredibly boring. And I knew if I did that, I was going to fail the real estate exam. So I ended up going with a exam prep tool, and it helped me study and practice and give me the confidence I needed to pass on test day. So if you want to check out the exam prep tool that I recommend, it's called Compucram. There is an affiliate link down below where you'll be able to see that and check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. I definitely think it can help you get the confidence you need to pass the exam. And the last question I get is, can you do this part-time? And the truth is, you absolutely can. That's one of the things that I love about real estate, is you can make it whatever you want, whether you want to build a hyper successful career where you earn a lot of money and you work all the time, or if you want something more laid back where you only have a couple clients per year and you do it on a part-time basis. I've seen both work out tremendously, and a lot of people that start part-time, they eventually go on to become full-time because they really love the business. But that's one of the best things about real estate is you can design it how you want to design it and you can build it however you want to build it. So if you have other questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll do everything I can to get back to you ASAP. Also, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe because I have more content all about getting licensed and starting a new career coming to this channel. So make sure to subscribe. Thanks again for tuning in.